So I wanted to do a quick behind the scenes video of what makes this light show work and kind of what goes on in the display. So these are called arches, and they have what are called red, green, blue pixels inside of them, and there's 100 of each in each one of them. And there's 8 arches total, and they are ran off of what's called a receiver board and a power distribution board and one power supply that receives information from another controller. I'll show you in a minute. Next we have our mini trees, and these are the pixels that are in the arches as well. In the mini trees there are 96 nodes each. I just basically cut a piece of plywood into circles on top and bottom and use this Viscoya strips to make this little tree. And all 4 of these mini trees and this 4-foot mini tree, which has 200 nodes on it, are ran by this differential receiver board, which has a different kind of power supply in it, which I moved to this year, which can power a lot more nodes. All but the ones that run the arches are all the same as far as the differential receiver boards. And this tree has pretty much the same design as the small ones. And there's my speaker for the yard so that people walking by can hear the music. And then I have 5 Viscoya Decor candy canes with 99 nodes each, and those all ran back to another controller back in there. I'll show you that in a second. I have each window outlined with, I think it's 100 something nodes, I forget exactly the number. And then we have vertical outlines going up and down each line of the house. Then we have a roof matrix, each one. This whole side of the house is run by one box. All this runs off of this controller here, as well as the roofline matrix there, and then the matrix there runs off its own controller. We'll look at this. The matrix has 1154 pixels on it, 2-inch spacing all throughout the house to keep it uniform. And it runs off of a F4V3, which is a Falcon controller, powered by one 750 watt HP power supply. And everything on my house except for the main controller is run on timers, just so that it's not sitting there running all day. And a tip for newbies, these are called Dolphin connectors. They're a great way to splice some wire. And there's an F-amp, because one of my runs is about 30 something foot, so I put an F-amp right in the middle, and that helps. There's one box, same as the one that I showed you that runs the little trees out here. It runs the entire roof line, except for this front matrix here. It runs the up, the across, and then the down the other side. That one box runs that whole thing up there. And then we walk over here to the mega tree, which is one of the centerpieces of the display. My mega tree has 2,400 nodes on the tree and 200 on the star, 2-inch spacing throughout on it as well. It was my first build, so the first controller I purchased for it was it's called a Pixlite 16. Good controller, just I've moved to the Falcons, I like them better. But they're all in these boxes here. I use 8 ports for the tree and 1 for the star, so I have a lot of extra ports here, but it just was ease of use. My tree goes up. I also have 3 of those HP power supplies in here. A little overkill, but I like to over-engineer everything just so I don't have any power issues in the future, and I can add to it if I wanted to. But my tree goes up 75, down 75. Power inject on the bottom, down here, in between there, and then it goes up 75, down 75. So it's got 4 strands per output. So a total of 300 nodes per output. That's that. It's about 15 foot tall with the star. My first year had a big problem and about blew the tree down with some wind. So I over guide wire now, and I've not had an issue since. I used 3, I used 2 on the front and 1 more heavy duty one in the back. Just kind of pull it tight. And this design for the bass ring and stuff I've got off YouTube. Hadn't had an issue with it since. Used guide wires. And then I had a buddy bend a piece of metal for the bottom. He owns an awning business and did a great job there. The top plate is a custom made top plate by my aunt who makes metal products. Told her what I wanted, she cut it out. So, and then you can kind of see around the yard or around the house all these different boxes, which are just the same as the one I showed you out at the trees. There's one there, and there's one there, and then all this in the middle is ran off of the main house box, which is an F16 V3, powered by 2 750 watt power supplies. Yeah, it's been raining about it here. I don't have anything on right now, it's all on timers. But this is F16 V3 with 2 expansion boards, the differential boards, and then that goes out to the yard. Next year I might add a F48, I'm not sure. But all of this, here's a closer picture of the nodes for all you that don't know what we're talking about. But all of this on the house, yeah, that's all my wires went off the main yard, all the Ethernet wires and such. But all this is ran by what's called a Raspberry Pi. Some people think you gotta have a computer with all this fancy gadgetry on it, but this whole show is technically ran by this little single board computer right here. It's about half the size of my cell phone. All you do is plug a micro SD card into it and download the FPP software, which I'm running really outdated software, but it works. And then a SD card to store all your sequences on. And this is my audio output to my speakers as well as my FM transmitter. And this is a Wi-Fi dongle that I'm attempting to use. I still haven't got the Wi-Fi working, but we will. And then a switch, which Ethernet goes from here to here, then goes out to the numerous controllers. And then I've got a little cheap amp I bought at Goodwill for like $6 that powers the speakers. I just ran some speaker wire in the yard. And then this is the FM transmitter here. And that's the matrix on the window, as you can tell. Any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. This is just a little behind the scenes tour. I already got plans to add to next year. Not sure what all I'm doing, but probably gonna add some more candy canes, some snowflakes on the roof, and just some different stuff. So, any questions, let me know. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye. This is from us at Chester Family Light Show.